Right, let's make a drink that looks like this. So start with creating a circle and then go into edit mode by pressing tab, press E, Z, move up, go in the side view, and then press S one time to extrude, and then move it up something like this. Then you want to hold Alt and left click on one vertex down here to select every one of them. Then press F one time, then add a loop cut like this. Maybe move it up a little bit. Press Shift V to move them all up. Then you press F one time to create a face. Then we will add a solidify modifier, and I will make it go inwards like this. Then I will apply that. I need to go into object mode, apply, then add a subdivision surface modifier. And now we will get these sharp edges. So we have to tap into edit mode. And when we have the subdivision surface modifier, we need to add loop cuts like this, both on the inside and outside. And if we turn this up, we will see it gets smooth. And this is what we want. And then we add a loop cut down here and do the same. Sorry. And we do the same down here. Like that. And then we insert this face by pressing I one time. Then we press I one more time. And then we press G, Z, and move it up a little bit. We can press I one more time to make that more smooth. And if we want to, we can add a loop cut like this. And then we can also add a loop cut like that. And now that sort of foot is more sharp. Then we can press right click and shade auto smooth. Then for the glass shader, we will create a new material. In the base color, we will add in here we'll add a mixed color and change this color to lighten and also turn this up to white. Then we will turn up the transmission and the roughness to 0. Then to be able to see our glass shader, we go into this shader viewport, change from EV to cycles, and also change to GPU. And to make it easier for my computer, I will turn down these values, put on denoise or not, doesn't matter. Now we start seeing some transparency, but we need a plane, and this plane is now 2 meters wide, so this glass is like a skyscraper, so we scale this down. Then we can press 1, 2, 3 to select different modes here, and I will select the edge selection by pressing 2, and then I'll press on one edge here, and I will press G, Y, and then I will press E, Z to move it up in Z axis. Then I will press on this corner here, press Ctrl B to bevel it, scroll my mouse wheel a few times, and make it smooth like this. Then I can press SX one time to widen it. I will also select this edge here, press G, Y, and I will do the same up here, G, Z, to move it inside the axis. But we don't see anything, so we need to add a light and an area light and move it up in Z axis. And then I will copy this light, press Shift D, and then I will press R, X, 90, and then negative 90. Then I can move it down, and I can move it out a little bit, and a little bit up like this, and maybe a little bit down. Something like that. And I will shade auto smooth on the plane too. and we can move it backwards a little bit. Then I will press on this or numpad 1, and then I will create a camera, and then Control Alt 0 on my numpad, and then I will put 0 here on the X location, and I will move this closer to the glass, and I will move it down a little bit. Then I will change the resolution from 1920 by 1080 to 1920 by 1920, and then I will select the camera, of course, and then press G and 2 Z this time. And now we will move it in its own Z axis. If we press G Z one time, it will move in the global axis. So right now I will just align this camera so something like this, and I will also click Control B to specify the render in only the camera view. But in the camera I will also change the focal length from 50 to 25, and now the camera looks more far apart, so we just need to move it closer like this. And then I will also press SX to move to scale the plane like this so we don't get edges clipping into the camera view. And I also see the edge up here needs to be a little bit taller. Then I will add a shader to the plane, and I will make it completely black. For the world background texture, I will add a indoor scene. You can choose whatever. And if you are wondering how it looks like, the scene looks like this. So it's a kitchen, and I think this is perfect for our scene because we get some reflections in the glass from the windows, and it looks overall good. And I don't really like where the light is coming from here, so I will change the rotation of the scene to get this sort of light. Now, the things we are missing is the drink and the straw, and also the water driplets. But let's create the drink first. So we will go into this view, and I will also make it easier, so I will unselect these. Then I will tap into edit mode, select the faces by pressing first Alt, left click, and then Shift Alt, left click on this faces down here. Then I will press Shift D and then right click, press P one time, and then rename this to liquid drink. Then I will go into the side view, and then in the side view I will add a loop cut like this, and then I will select these faces, Alt left click again, and then delete the faces. Then I will select the edges on top and press F one time, and then I will insert it one time. And then I will also add a loop cut, and I will do the same here. Press F one time and then insert it. And then also add a loop cut. Like that. And we have our liquid inside our glass. So I will copy this glass material. Now we have material 2, and I will name this liquid. And I will add a volume node like this. And I will change the color to pink. And the density I will turn down to like 0.3. And this I will change to something like little bit yellow, something like that. Then we go into the shader viewport again, and we can see some bad reflections in our glass, and that comes from the liquid shader. So we will turn down this IOR to 1, and this will make our lights in the scene go through the liquid object instead of bouncing on it. I will move the camera a little bit closer to the glass. And this part is all just playing around, finding the color of the drink you want. And I think I will go with something like pink. And here you can also change the density. If you want to, you can also turn up the roughness slightly. Something like that. Alright, let's create the straw. And the straw is a simple circle. Scale it down. Press tab one time. Press E, Z. Then we can press out of edit mode and scale it down in object mode. And on this we can also add a metallic shader. And for the metallic shader, we can shade out to smooth the object. And in the specular, we turn up this and this. And to see any result, you have to be in the cycles render. One important step, we have to turn up the metallic. And now we have something that looks like a metallic straw. But it's very thin still, so we will add a solidify and thicken it a few times. If you want to, you can add a subdivision surface modifier on this, but I don't think it's necessary this time. The lights I will turn up quite much, and also this light I will turn up, and I will also scale it up like super big. Then the straw I will press R, Y, and lean it to the side. Then the only thing we need to add is the driplet, and I have a add-on. It's a free add-on that I've downloaded. I will leave a link in the description so you can go and download it yourself. So I will add a geometry nodes, and then I will have the droplet generator. And in here we can add density, and that just allows how many driplets there will be. And we can also set the size. I will turn it up a little bit. Something like this. We can also change the base color of the metallic straw to something like in the middle. And then the last step is to make the area lights a little bit blue. And this will make the overall feel of the image look cold. And the reason why I'm making it cold is because of these water driplets. And with the water driplets and the blue lights, it will make the image look cold. Or more specifically, it will make the drink in this case look cold. And the only thing we need to do now is render this. So I will go into these render settings, and I will set the time limit to 60 seconds, and I will also put 0 before the 1 in the noise threshold. And under performance, I will change the tile size by 2, or divide it by 2. Then I will use spatial splits, and I will also change the look to very high contrast. And this will make a big difference. Under light paths, I will add volume, like 3, and this will allow our liquid to pass more light through it. And then I will also turn up the glossy to 6. If you want to, you can turn up the transparent and transmission, so to make the glass look more realistic. And you can also put up the diffuse and glossy even more, but since I'm on a quite bad computer, I'm not gonna do that because it's going to take days to render. And then If you want to, you can turn off these curves and change some values like this. But I necessarily don't like doing this in the render viewport. If I do want to do some changes on the overall look, I usually do it after the render in GIMP or Photoshop. I forgot to mention that the size I will be using is 200%, so this will make it close to 4K, and this will also increase the render time. And one thing more we need to do is Control B and select the camera view. Because if we do it like this, it will only render this part, so make sure to select the camera. I forgot to mention one thing, and if you don't do it, you will see these lines like this, and it's very easy to solve. The thing you need to do is select the liquid material and scale it down slightly. This will make it not touch or be inside of the glass wall, so that flickering will disappear. Also, I saw that the light's a little bit too light, so I will turn up the lights a lot, and especially this front area light will do much more to the image if it's very bright. Yeah, 100 something is perfect for this sort of light. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.